All right, everybody, I'm going to do my review of my trades. Today we had a bit of a market sell-off day. So we've had the semis and the Qs. The entire market has been on a running streak for the past couple of weeks. And today we had a bit of a sell-off day. So you can see that the NVDA was really selling off. We had the Qs selling off as well. And I took a trade off of AMD. So AMD really sets up yesterday. They had a very strong day yesterday where it made a beautiful sort of view up continuation, bounces off a view up, and closed at high of day, and then gaps up um, quite a bit. I think about 2%, and then has another like sort of euphoric run up. And what's interesting about this setup is it's so strong compared to compare this chart versus like what, for instance, NVIDIA is doing. NVIDIA is like consolidating below low of day, does an opening range break on volume, whereas AMD is just like ripping higher and is ramping in volume as it's doing this. So as the market was selling off, I was looking at how can I best get involved. Should I be taking NVIDIA? Should I be taking Qs or any other like SMCI type of trade? So I'm looking at AMD just because it's been up a lot yesterday. It's been up a lot today. And you also have AMD, which is on the higher time frame level. It's running into its 200 SMA on the daily, which I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but that's what this line is here. And it's also running into its 100 SMA. You also have that AMD has been relatively weak in its sector compared to the rest of the semis since it's made its top back in March. And so this has been kind of one of my favorites to short. So with all that being set up, we have this big run up into where the semis are weak, so it has like relative strength. And then it just puts in, does this rubber band, multi-bar break, sells off rebids, and then puts in an inverted hammer, which establishes the backside of this trade. So I just enter on the backside on this break here, and then just really give it some room to hold it. And then I took half on the overextension into near the opening price. And then I took half on the rebid on a 2-bar break. And then this last one's a little unfortunate, but it started consolidating. At this time, you had NVIDIA, which is really putting in a rubber band. It's done a multi-bar break, rebidding, going back into VWAP. You also have the Qs that are doing the same thing. So I didn't like all the rebidding, multi-bar break on momentum things that it's doing. So semis have been really strong. So just I don't want to hold this back up to VWAP. So I just exit out. It almost top tick here on a multi-bar consolidation break above the 90 MA on 2-minute. And then it does go a little bit lower, and then it rebids again, doing back to VWAP. So a little unfortunate in terms of where I was able to get out on, but could have got it maybe just a little bit lower near the close. But overall, this is a very good trade. One of my better rubber bands I've had in a while. I did actually put my stop at high day instead of the backside. You can put in the backside, but I just wanted to give myself a little bit more room. And so I just gave it till high of day. So the other trades I took, I actually started off with AMD. Started off at AMD for going long, and so I saw it just started, rebidding, and then did sort of a back through open. And so I would have gotten long. You can see volume comes in here. I would have gotten long on this back through open, but I wasn't watching it. So I kind of missed it. And so I just added a very small size here and wanted to look for it to add on pullbacks, which we did get, put in a nice, trend that was developing here. And so I just added that, and I felt like this really should have gone here. I got some volume back into it, and it just wasn't able to, and so I exit for a small loss. Um, but in retrospect, I really should have just held this to the break of trend. Really don't like this inverted hammer here, but I don't know. It's just I mean, it did really work out. Obviously, you can see that it had like a really big run up that I was able to take to the short side. But I think I could have gotten involved to the long side as well if I would just given a little bit more room. So next time, I think I'll just if I do have a nice clean trend like this, I'll just hold it till loss of trend. Then the other trades I took were on PANW. PANW had earnings, double beat. So nothing I took off of the open, but it did have a relative strength. So really strong off the open. And so I took, was looking for a 9 EMA pullback. It did put in a 9 EMA here. We get prior bar breaks. And it does go high of day, but then and we did get volume on this break. But then it just fails immediately, and I get stopped out for a full loss. And then it puts in another 9 EMA continuation. So I was looking at this on the 2-minute 9 EMA, and so it just barely stops me out, then it starts holding, and then does like this multi-bar break. So I just get long as it multi-bar breaks off the 9 EMA. At this point, I was actually looking for a few up continuation, but when I saw the strength here, just get involved, going long again, and it is grinding up, nothing euphoric, nothing bursting through. And then I just exit half of my position here on a double bar break. And the reason I did that is because this is what was happening in the Qs. So the Qs were like selling really hard. NVIDIA was like putting in a kill candle, and it was kind of looking gross in the market. So I don't like to be long like technology names whenever the index of technology is melting. So I just get out of half my position here on the multi-bar break, and then exit the position on loss of the 9 EMA, and really like volume was coming up. So this one did end up holding and went higher, which is kind of funny since the entire market was melting. So it's a decent trade. Uh, but yeah, just managing it a little bit differently since the market was selling so hard. So those are the trades I took today. So I think my selectivity yesterday, I didn't actually trade. I didn't take any trades at all yesterday because I don't like what the market is doing. So I like that I was able to be, pretty patient, especially yesterday, and waiting for, A plus setups, because really I want to be trading things like this, multi-day setups, reversals, shorting strength while the market is, selling really hard. Those are my types of, A plus setups. And so I've taken this exact setup couple times. Actually, I'll see if I can find that video where I was shorting AMD after it had. Actually, I think it was on this day, so March 4th. It was like running up like crazy after it had already been up so much, and just shorting it at its highs on a multi-bar breaker like this. So yeah, I like that. I'm able to be selective and only take the best trades while the summer's not really offering as much opportunities as it has before. But just taking, whatever good opportunities that I'm able to find. All right, for pre-market, again, not much that I like today. That's been a theme for the past couple of weeks during this summer season. So PANW had earnings, double beat. Decent earnings. They had, a pretty big sell-off. I think 2 earnings seasons ago, but it's been bought up, kind of did a gap fill from when that last sold out. I guess not quite a gap fill, close to it. But it's only up less than 2%, 3% is my criteria, kind of chopping around. So not really much I like. It is the only name. So I think a lot of traders are going to be watching this to see if it does do something interesting, get above pre-market highs. maybe puts in an opening range break or some sort of view up continuation that I could get involved in. Other than that, I'm just watching AMD. Had a big move yesterday. See if the market's going to continue its running into its 200 SMA on the daily, as well as close to its 100. So I think a decent amount of resistance in those levels. So let's see if it can put in some strength, or I am open to shorts as well as the market starts selling off. Maybe keep an eye on NVDA as well. It's pulling back. You could also get a 2-day view up, sort of a bounce play. In fact, I'll just set an alert there. NVIDIA market might do the same. AMD might do the same since all these semis sort of had a very strong day. And then I'm also watching for Walmart. It had looking for RVOL, which we're at 1.6. That's pretty high. I think a lot of traders have been watching this like 74 level. So I'm going to take this as a 9 EMA continuation. It didn't set up how I would have preferred it to set up. Have like a 3-bar pullback touch and then bounce off of like decent volume. So instead it's done a longer time pullback, but it is starting to consolidate. It is getting bought off of the 9 EMA. So it's not terrible. So I just get long here, small size, and see if it's gonna hold this. And I feel like this is a resistance area, so this is 3366.02. And let's see if it's gonna get a volume pop. And right now it's like a dollar spread. Getting a bit of volume. So it looks like it wants to go right now. And I would expect it to go. It looks pretty strong, getting some volume in, and we should get this break. Very spready here. These are still holding up. Market's still holding up. We are getting the 9 on the 2-minute. I can't really tell what it is. But this thing needs to hold up a little bit longer. It might get stopped out. Yeah, it did get stopped out on that. We are going right back into the 90 EMA. On the 2-minute. Market is strong. So I think this is setting up for a view up continuation. It didn't really extend that much. Let's try another stab here. This is one of those things where probably it should have gone down to VWAP and it starts to fail. Wasn't watching it, but looks like it kind of starts to consolidate, starts to go, and then just immediately does like a 4-bar break here. And it's looking strong here. 2-minute, you can really see how it does this 2-bar break. So again, small size. See if it can break Hive Day. Qs are looking strong. Hive Day is 367. $0.50 out from 367, 366.50. See if we can get to 367 and see if we have a lot of offers. And I think we probably have, people shorting top. Kind of trapping these shorts and then just blow right through, get some momentum into the blowout. $0.05 and it blew right through. There weren't even offers. But bids weren't stepping up. Our bids are stepping up now. So this should really start to go. Qs are starting to fail. PANW is struggling here, Hive Day. Looks strong on the 5-minute PANW. So back at 367. And I think volume, we're at 10 o'clock. Volume is going to be big thing here. PayPal is starting to move. So market's starting to sell. So going to be pretty protective here about my stop. They're watching 365.25, which we just blew right through. And I'm just going to see if it rebids here. Holding the 9 EMA on the 2-minute. Keys are rebidding as well. Nice rebid. Give us another trend line here. See, NVIDIA is, of course, rebidding. That's what it does. And then see if PANW, this was 364.66. $66. There we go. Stop is break even. This thing is kind of spready, so I'm just kind of trying to let my my stop handle it. There we go, little pop. And see, not much volume on that pop. NW pushing high of day. Your high of day, we're getting a bit of a volume spike. Not as much as you'd like to see on a breakout. And a measured move of consolidation here. Mm, 5-minute looks good too, getting more volume on the 5-minute. Looks pretty clean. Ah, AMD. Oh, AMD is really running in a ramp of RVol as well. Meanwhile, the market almost looks like it's putting in a backside. So just taking half here. I don't like how the market is really selling right now. Watching if this is gonna rebid. Just sellers. So let's see, AMD. I'm watching AMD for a short since it's so strong today. Yeah, could. AMD's been relatively short for a while though, in the semis, I think. So, trying to think a good area in. I think this is a nice area, the close price. I think there's a clear rubber band being put in. I'll take this 160.16. Backside on AMD. All right, entering short here. All right, so I put my stop at high of day instead of the backside, and see, NVIDIA is really selling off. I was looking for a second chance. Didn't quite give me a second chance at the level I was looking at. Give me a second chance at the very wick of low of day. Much more confidence if it came into this and then broke down. Qs are doing like a double bottom. NVIDIA is just kind of consolidating at the 9 EMA on the 1 minute and 2 minutes. Pretty deeply extended right now still. Meanwhile, AMD is coming into its VWAP, coming into trend line, so probably we'll expect to see a decent sized bounce. I'm going to hold this position for a little bit, see if the market's going to do a double bottom or sell off. And so probably traders are looking at this as a VWAP continuation. If I were looking at getting into this VWAP as a VWAP continuation, where would my entry be? Probably just above the 9 EMA. And it's also bouncing off of that trend line that it was coming into. And there's some selling that you don't really like if you're looking for that bounce. I'm still rebidding off of the trend. Market is NVIDIA's selling really hard. Big engulfing candle going low of day. These are low of day. Wow, a lot of selling there. AMD really hasn't started to melt yet. Jeff also just went short AMD. We're at NVIDIA's at 2-day VWAP right now. NVIDIA's already at 2-day VWAP. There's a pretty big divergence between the rest of the semis. Rebid candle. Through VWAP. Qs are still holding low day into the opening price. So definitely some bouncing there. Yeah, you have NVIDIA that is bouncing from its 2-day VWAP. And you have this level here in AMD. For the pre-market range area. So I've attempted bounce on NVIDIA and the Qs right now. And let's see, AMD is going to flush through this level or if it's going to bounce from it. Inverted hammer for NVIDIA. Qs are still holding low day. And right now we do have an attempt to bounce. For AMD and then Qs. Use that low day. $10.34. See some bouncing here. I'll be patient with it and see that if it's gonna continue to sell off today or it's not. We are holding low of day right now with Qs. So we have this like support area at the open, which it is losing its support from. And we just have the top of the pre-market high that's currently providing support. And then we have like a sort of a double bottom range here at 158. Now getting some more selling here on the Qs, pushing low of day. So now AMD is cracking. So fast rally late, you got an entry here on the 1 minute, and you're getting it right now, which is actually the better, I think, spot to enter on this break. These are still pushing low day. And then we wanna, it's gonna come into 158. Selling down into. NVIDIA is also low of day after it consolidated through VWAP. A lot of red prints right there. We have some pretty deep selling on Qs, NVIDIA, and we're right at this support area for AMD. For AMD, and this is a tricky area because we're in this area that, like, for a VO continuation, like, it's hilarious. MMM is breaking out right now. We're just watching AMD. See, I guess Qs are breaking out. Fell down to its top of yesterday's area. This might be an area where it can find support. We also have AMD that's the top of its pre-market range that it attempted to bounce through, and it looks like it's about to get dunked on. So have this trend, and wow, keys are getting dunked on as well. And I'm just taking half here. Took half of my AMD position near the opening price. I'm gonna exit. Took half of my position there on the 2-bar break. It does come up right to the trend level, so but I see like the market is bouncing. NVIDIA just did a 4-bar break. Keys are starting to reclaim. Just kind of waiting. So we're gonna get a 90 EMA break. NVIDIA is doing their reclaim. Right to the 90 EMA and starting to sell on the 2-minute. There's some rebidding here, don't like that. So this is 156. There we go. We are consolidating here, and I would expect it to kind of get strong above this 80 level. So 157.80. We have NVIDIA. We're watching 80. Let's get out there. It made new highs again.